Welcome back, everybody, here to your coverage of the Dota 2 Championship League. I'm your host, TobiWan, bringing you your English live stream for our one and only game today. It is Sigma, team formerly known as Quantic, going up against Team Evil Geniuses. So far, EG have found themselves being poked and prodded on every single lane. However, they're poking and prodding very early on. Saw EG coming out ahead in both their top and bottom lane. But that middle lane, Pugner, when he rotated out, he just won that lane so hard that when we saw Fatal leave the middle lane, all hell just started to break loose in favor of this team on your screen right now, which is Quantic Gaming. Let's jump ourselves over into this game and see how game number 2 will unfold for us all, as the draft is most definitely underway. Sigma will now be over on the Dire side, while EG will be taking up the Radiant side slot. And you see Fear, like the Lich was banned out before, and this time around, the Pugner will also be finding his way into that ban pool. That means we let slip I will say the Seals of War, the Sea Creatures of War, Naga Siren coming the way of Sigma. So now they get their big control. They get the Naga Siren ulti when they also have the advantage of being on the Dire side. And they're taking the big heavy hitters of EG. And they take out both the Lycan as well as taking out that Life Stealer. And EG, they're going to go with Old Faithful. We're going to go with the Universe Clockwork again. We'll see if they try and do the same dual combo again, and by picking up the Darkseer later on. I'm pretty sure Sigma... Actually, I don't know if they would really want to ban it out at this point of the game, because right now I'm feeling from Sigma that we go back down the lines of having the Enigmas. That's what I'm kind of feeling from them right now. You go with the Naga, you get your big team fight control, and now a Crystal Maiden especially coming out from EG. You know they're going to try and be a little bit more aggressive, but at the same time, if you can slip through a Timbersaw, and then you can run an Enigma as well, you can have a jungler and then not feel too worried about having your off-laner play as well. So, some good things. Some good things coming their way, but they're definitely not going to pass up that opportunity before he gets banned. Actually, they ban him out. Okay. So, it seems that Mad is a little bit more concerned about the vac into... just the Darkseer Clockwork combination, not the vac in combination for the Naga. Even though that was really nerfed to a point where it's just not possible to do it right anymore. Not if the team is even half awake. So, Enigma Black Hole, I'm still putting my monies on that one. And now, Timbersaw as well going to be their ban out. So, it takes out that offlaner combo that I was thinking of. But it also removes the burst damage combination, which can happen with against the puck later on. It would still want to be for EG a top lane Timbersaw, more than likely, and then you could leave the Clockwork and the CM on the bottom lane. Just give a little bit of a friend to that top lane, you're all good to go. But now Fear has got one more ban out left to happen. And I am kind of interested to see how Sigma want to approach this, because they show their puck very early on. I can see they don't want to run the risk of like losing the puck option to pick it up, because it's just a respect ban to Fader every time. It's a full-on respect ban. He's got a fantastic puck. You've got to respect ban it. And it's like, it made me leave in the first two, because obviously Pugner was the bigger problem in the last game. Then EG don't want to go back down those lines again. But when you got heroes like a puck already in the field, you can run him as an off-lane option too, so he doesn't have to be locked into middle lane. So I'm wondering if Sigma have got something else up their sleeves for this. The Mirana will be the ban out right now, so they're still thinking about the combination with the Naga Siren, which there are a lot of. If Sigma do still want to have that tower pusher, we could bring back the guy I mentioned before, which was the Latrak. If they want to go straight up DPS to damage down heroes, you get a hero like a Lena, or possibly even a Lion on the field. That'll be one way to shut down the Crystal Maiden. But at the same time, I think Sigma's thinking more about the Rubik pickup. And I'm saying Rubik primarily because of the Clockwork being on the field. You want to have something which directly works against him. And that's either going to be... Like, in the last game, we didn't have anything against it. Like, there was no combination going up against the Clockwork in the last game. It was, yeah. Like, what are you going to snowball into Cogs? No. Mad can't pull out. Passes familiar stuns. Options not really there. Fade of the Crepify that actually just helps the Clockwork a little bit more then. And then Soshka, no escape mechanism, throws down the call down, and then the Blade Mail kills him. So, it's problems no matter where you really look. And we're going to get Weaver pickup. It's a confident pickup, I'm definitely saying that from Sigma, because they're picking up the Weaver for Soshka, and they're picking him up when you've already got the Crystal Maiden, Urshik, and Clockwork on the field. All three have abilities to do direct stuns to the Weaver. One from two from very, very long range if you want to count in the battery assault. And Weaver's time lapse does require an animation for it. It's enough to get off in between the battery assaults.
Remaining.
So there shouldn't be much of a problem there. But if even it gets stunned up and mini stun once, Crystal Maiden might be able to get just in range to follow up with a Frostbite. And then you got the battery assault damage, and then you've got a dead Weaver. Very, very easily a dead Weaver.
Windrunner at your service.
Windrunner, now going to be our next pickup here from EG. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. This almost makes me want to think about a Clockwork in the middle lane. At the same time as a Windrunner in the middle lane as well. EG's got a lot of options with this lineup. I don't even want to predict their lanes until we see their last hero selection. But we at least know one thing. It'll be a core as their last one. So Sigmund knows what they're going to ban out in their last one. It's just a straight up hard carry. That's what they want to remove out. Up against a Weaver and a Puck, I'm almost feeling like they may consider removing out the anti-mage of JO's. Enchantress pick up here, so one of the strong junglers coming out here for Sigma. Also, great hero going up against, well, I believe you can still enchant and persuade necro units.
10 seconds remaining.
You just can't helmet dominate them. If I remember my changelog correctly.
Remaining.
But this also means now
Reserve time.
still pushing power from Sigma in the early from Enchantress, but more importantly, it's going to be the harassment if you can find that early Harpy and send that Harpy down into the middle lane. Because that's going to win your lane almost instantly, especially if you're considering running a Windrunner there. Windrunner doesn't have the life points to tank up all that DPS from a Harpy, so she'll have to back off almost instantly. So Fear's got one last one. All right. I also, by the way, guys, I believe we have an interview hooked up with one of the members from EG at the conclusion of this matchup. So if you are tuning in and you want to listen to the EG's perspective after the end of this best of three, then yeah, definitely stay tuned. Definitely stay tuned. There's going to be a quick chat with him. One of the legends. I'm hoping it's actually going to be Fear. One of the legends of the American scene. Another legend also, if you haven't seen the news. You know the place to find it, peoples. Yafets. Back into Dota 2. I'll also have the pleasure of covering his matches. If you want those details, just follow me over on TobiWan Dota, both on Twitter and Facebook. I let people know about all the stuff I'm doing over there. So yeah, check that out. I'll be casting in about a month's time, in fact. Lorna, Nova will come the way of EG. So it is the hard carry for JO, but it's a hard carry that normally these days for a Radiant side doesn't run on the safe lane. It in fact runs on the off lane, the top lane for the Radiant side. I'm almost wondering if we can't even call the bottom lane the safe lane anymore. But it's because the way the creep wave moves. But you can run Luna and the Earthshaker. Earthshaker will be the babysitter. The other options you run the Crystal Maiden there, but I'm feeling a little bit more loving for the Crystal Maiden as well as Clockwork combining up together. And Fader, actually, the last pickup here. Yeah, I knew something wasn't feeling right here, peoples. I knew something wasn't 100% right. To pick up your mid-solo that early on, especially for Mad, he would never want to show his hand that much. He would never want to do it. So what he does is puts Fader now onto the Night Stalker, making him the last pickup, and that puts Puck being played by Soshka, actually. Which means Miguel takes the Weaver. Now, I'm trying to remember the last time I saw Soshka take up a Puck roll. And it's a long, long time ago. In fact, I'm just going to bring up his last heroes right now. And the last time he played a Puck, it is before the 9th of the 10th, 2013. I can at least tell you that. He has not played it this month. He's played Lifestealers, Gyros, Vipers, Lone Druids, Windrunners, a whole lot of Weaver, even a Wisp at one point. But he has not played a Puck. So we'll get ourselves something new and different coming out here from Sigma. Observer Ward's now going down too. Remember, these things last a lot longer. Now have a 7-minute duration. So you can throw these wards down, and by the time you're going to replace them, you're... Yeah, 1 minute's not really going to make that much of a difference. So having them down earlier, not risking your life as much is worth it. And you see Fear. Yeah, the pings are coming out saying he just moved himself up to here, which means ward right here. So that's going to be pretty easy to deward. Miguel's going to find himself a haste through to start with, so we do get the off lane of both Pass as well as Miguel, the Naga and the Weaver together. They'll be going up against a defensive tri-lane here. So Fogged will be taking up the Crystal Maiden, Fear is the Earthshaker, and then Jo will be taking up the safe lane for the EG lineup. And you can see him already trying to body block up the creep wave. Missed 3-3-0 up against the 3-2-5. Can body block rather successfully, and in fact has done so. Miguel's kind of fouled on his one, which means the creep wave comes into a normal position on this bottom lane. While up on the top, you got Sochka with the slight advantage, but it's going to be Universe low lane up against the Sochka puck.
You didn't need that.
And then in the middle lane, it looks like Fader's already had himself some fun. Oh, the fish is the wrong side. It blocked MSS out. It's going to keep the Radiant Creep Wave, however, up on the high ground. And MSS able to just throw that little spanner over the top of the wall.
Denied.
Actually, looks like the Creep Wave just decided to circumvent the middle lane, just run around through the top, past the rune. And this is going to be such a fun lane for Universe. Couldn't be pulled that many consumables, but he knows if he can avoid the orbs, he'll get the upper hand up here. Because it's all about him, the range harassment. Just keep that DPS going in. Early phase boot's the way to go as well. Because with the earlier phase boost, you increase your ability to get those last hits in denies as well. And then nail down directly towards the puck. And he's not going to phase shift for every single attack you throw his way. You already see the damage right now. Sochka's very, very low. He doesn't want to salve up just yet. And on purpose, Universe, like, you know he's waiting for the power shot. And the line, like when the creep wave comes up like this, you can have a guess of where to power shot. The new creep wave is also on the way in, and Universe, all he wants to do is trigger it. And that's what Sochka wants to use the phase shift to evade. It's like bottom lane, this will be our first blood. Jo's into a corner, and Fogged, well, with the Frostbite, is at least keeping Mad away. And Mad, I don't know which one's going to get first blood at Jo. He's up on top, he had time to salve, and now, whoa, the Centaur Stomp. It wasn't available, he had the basic attack. They'll follow through and get a 2-for-1 trade in this lane.
Think so.
2-kill advantage going to go the way of Sigma. But that Luna almost turned it around because of the time he managed to waste. Just sitting up here in the corner, salving up before EG came up to find him. It means the advantage started to switch around a little bit. We've got man fighting here in the middle. MSS kind of wished that battery assault attacked all directly towards Fader. It's a level 2 battery assault. He doesn't have any kind of rocket or any kind of extra range damage here, so he's not going to get the kill on the Night Stalker. Now he gets his rocket level up. But he's also completely out of mana, but the bottle's going to arrive. But Jo able to get another Lucent Beam off. Only a level 1 Lucent Beam, so that's not, oh my god, Lucent Beam. But it is one of those moments where that little bit of bonus damage, the Frostbite time, which was bought by Fogged, was looking really good. There's a good rotation as well in from Mad. Having that Centaur in there at the right time. And gets 1 death to his name, but his off lane's looking good. 2 assists for a Weaver. And there's the Naga Siren who managed to claim the 2 kills out of that. So you get a support who's also getting some decent items up. Gonna be probably your next set of wards, maybe even being purchased up. Well, Sochka on the top lane's running Bottle up here as well. He's keeping the courier a little bit longer. Yeah, he has to just drop it on the ground and send it back. Courier's at least got bonus movement speed in 3 seconds, so it's not going to be as bad. But this top lane for Universe, he doesn't have to worry about this. As I said, face boots first is what the Windrunner wants. It's just zoning out the lane. Talked about the lineup from the last time these two teams met over in Fragbite Masters. And that one, it was a lot of lane focus. In this one, it's lane focus by Sigma, not from EG. And this one is EG. We're definitely a lot more lane focused, but Universe, this is his problem. Hellbear, just waiting in the fog of war. Mad needed a kind of like an observer ward down here or something, just keeping tabs on it. We'll have the Hellbear take up the aggro, but Puck isn't ready to fight this one. Power shot even flies through and he can't phase shift to evade it, or could phase shift but didn't phase shift to evade it. Must have been looking out for it. Fader about to pop his regeneration rune. Once he realizes, I think he might want to do some physical DPS to MSS. Oh, he's going to pop it now. Void. Void. Oh, he got rocketed. LOL. Fader's going to be annoyed with that one. Bottom lane, a little bit more to be annoyed about Miguel. Sentry ward was down, so Chikuchi didn't save him. He'll even D-ward the D-ward. While Fader runs to the high ground over MSS. He doesn't have enough mana to pop off another Void just yet. Might have felt a little bit more confident about this if you got the initial free Void you get while you're still regenerating. You just throw that Void out. So you still have a full mana pool by the end of the rune, and having Void damage as a bonus. Fish is looking to have another crack on this bottom lane. Miguel, he's not looking really that great here on this off lane. He's got treads. I suppose it's not that bad. He's picked up 21 for 1, so it's definitely not that bad. At the same time, the top Siesta is in fact going to be the Windrunner up on the top lane. 26 for 6. Everyone's getting money apart from supports on Radiant side. Enchantress has picked 14 out of the jungle. Sochka just avoid that power shot. He's probably feeling very, very happy about that. Fear's got a level 2 stomp, and now Mad, he's going to get revealed. But then he's like, wait, what? Fissure flies out, but Universe, oh no! He's locked in by this, which means it will be an Enchantress. Look at the Centaur. It's just trying to keep the body block going, but he bought Phase Boost so he could get himself through the Centaur. Oh, wow. The timing for that item could not have been any better.
Double decibels.
And he'll get himself away to safety. I really thought Fear just threw a spanner in the works right then.
First.
They need that extra damage so he could get the kill. That quick kill over towards Mad. And that one little gap that Mad thought he could block off. And you see Fear doing it again. There's just one little gap that's in there. I wonder if he even just yelled at his team. It's like, you have Phase Boost! I didn't kill you! Just need the Phase Boost to come off cooldown is the downside about it all.
Denied.
We go 3-2 now on the board. Overall advantage, negligible, negligible. In fact, really, you could just say non-existent as opposed to negligible. It's all about the key items. And this Night Stalker's first nighttime cycle, it is a bit of an interesting thing that's coming out. Obviously, Night Stalker, a hero that's always had his timings based around the nighttime cycle. And now the nighttime cycle is significantly changed. So your timing for items and your timing for decision making kind of has to change. Like the older way of looking at a Night Stalker is you wait until you hit level 7, and then nighttime should arrive, and then you go ganking. And you'll have 3 points up in the Hunter, you have 3 points up in Void, and you have 1 point up in the Crippling Fear. You don't need that point up in the Darkness to actually extend the nighttime, because it's such a low timer that it actually hurts you more than anything else. Like 25 seconds duration, which you cannot call upon during the next daytime cycle. Like, that's not what you want to have happen. You see it level up on Fader right now because we're going into our second daytime cycle. But this is one of those things where now, like, some Night Stalkers are holding back and saying, I don't rotate until second nighttime. The fear is always going to be there that he can rotate beforehand. Like, all he's got to do is just TP into a tower and go hunting. If there's no opening for it, then you'll go for it. But it's almost like you just use the first nighttime cycle to secure yourself just an extra 4 minutes worth of very safe farm. It means you don't have a presence on the other lanes for a while, though. But it means when you do come out for your second nighttime phase, you will be strong enough to fight. Like our last Night Stalker had bottles and boots, and that was it. And that was the one played by EG in the last game. He had bottle and boots during the first nighttime cycle. It's like, well, what am I going to do with that? Where now you see this Night Stalker with a full magic wand. He's finished up his strength traits, and this is at the start of the daytime cycle. Normally this would be the time where he's like, okay, now I go hunting. But yeah, all this little bit of timing which has been changed up because of the recent patch notes. Mad with a couple of creatures held back. Clockwork's going to latch in, and Mad's dead. Battery Assault will get a very simple kill on him.
And precise.
And it's all was set up. It's this little guy right here. One observer that was watching it all. While on top lane, Sochka, like, he's just a stone's throw away. But there's little he can do to help. What is he really going to do? Fear's going to find Pass here in the jungle. In fact, I should say Pass finds him. His snare will go. There's no Naga sleep. And now he's just going to, well, Dream Call. Sochka won't get there in time. If he orbed from the very, very start and then jaunted down, then through the Dream Coil, then he could interrupt the TP out. But then they would never guarantee kill either because the orb damage possibility would have, like, it wouldn't have been there. The orb wouldn't have damaged him. So Fear with a smart escape and maybe just a little bit, I would say a premature ensnare, but at the same time, if he didn't ensnare then he would have been so far away that even the puck, if he did go for a full-length orb and then into a Dream Coil, would have still been a little bit too far away to nail him. Well, top lane movement with Universe. 4-staff going to be his idea of an item. And a good idea it is. Got that jump in movement. It's got that ability to push people in and out of the cogs if you're looking for that burst damage. Even push Clockwork in and out if you just want to control somebody and hold them in there. No problem with that whatsoever. Mad just getting cheeky and farming from the low ground. Just staying in near range. Fader and MSS again going to man fight this one up. Fader doesn't have ultimate available. We are still a little bit further away from having nighttime at MSS. Oh, he's going to hook shot. He's really committing. Fader, Void. Ah, the tower damage. It is not going to be enough. Bottle charges keep him up, as well as the one charges. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, we've got Jayo caught in the middle of this fight. There'll be the ultimate dropping down. It's Fogged, who was trying to help out. The pass will just keep them out. Mad, run. The sleep is wearing off. He's only got supports left down here. They lost both their cores here. And now Puck's also coming in. So Mad's looking for some harassment damage, just to drop them down a little bit. Frostbite now in range of the tower. The orb is flying in, but they're just backing up. There's a double TP coming in. MSS does not have ultimate. So Soshka will go west, and Matt will go north. And MSS cannot catch up to him in time. Chikuchi or Windrun or not, Power Shot flies. Mad just holds back. He's put both Clarity, Tangos, and Urn Charges to keep himself alive. In the meantime, the top tower did also go down. Nightstalker denying it up. So Fader, the man who is about to start fighting. They're almost here at nighttime. It's 4 PM. He needs to wait. He wants us to wait another 2 minutes. He needs us to wait another 2 minutes for him. Well, maybe not a full 2 minutes. Actually, I think it's going to be 1 minute. Darkness. Ah, MSS jumps up. Pass got no way out of this one. He can do a quick Riptide, but now forced up as well. Fogged into Frostbite, Rocket, and then the Eclipse. The creep wave doesn't tank up anywhere near enough, and now the TP comes in. It's nighttime. Being used from the ultimate of Nightstalker. Actually, no, it's just, well, now you jump in. Now we can make it pure nighttime, because obviously it's the Eclipse from Luna that's doing such a thing, but they've lost 3 players up from Sigma right now. Miguel runs to the other side, and the TP's coming into the tier 2 tower.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
But this Nightstalker, he's still going to cut him off at the pass and bumps into the entire Radiant creep wave. Miguel runs on down, care for the shackle. They line him up for the tree line. They got him perfectly. He went Invis, and then the cogs. They see him now. Throwing down that sentry ward from Fear. Fader's still looking for a kill right now. With a Void over to MSS, he'd have a chance, but there's still a lot of support from EG. They're all very, very low, but they've all got chances. And Snare now over on Fear. Doesn't want to throw the fissure out. Now he does do so. Holds Fader a little bit further away. Enchant, not possible. That Impetus damage can be decent. In fact, it's very, very high. The Shackle somehow manages to go bullet curve into the tree line, and Fader will just back himself up a little bit further. He's got 7-1 charges, drops the axe so he can heal up the most efficient amount of life points possible. So Falstaff is now done, and EG, I'm wondering if they have enough money. I wonder if the TPs are all off cooldown to everyone to TP out of this tier 1 tower and defend it. They may even just think about a trade, because Jay is already pushing in that middle lane. Yeah, I got a feeling this is just going to end up being a trade-off, or no TPs yet. All 5 heroes, and Fader starts extending the nighttime again. It is nice for Fader that he gets the buff up from the Luna. When she pops off her ultimate, he gets midnight. So technically they both start to extend the nighttime. Observers and sentries, so they're prepping themselves. Just for the smoke gank that loops around the back of the tier 1 tower. I'm looking for the silence. Yep, already Void. Now can follow up with a silence, but wants to find someone else. Shackle attempts to latch Clockwork. Oh, MSS! He's on the wrong side of the rock face now. Mad, able to get himself far enough away from an MSS. He jumped in with all great intents, but ended up being way too deep. JO will steal a haste rune. Remember, we are still in nighttime, and Fader, well, okay, they're going to even focus on a couple of that. That's a dominate creep. Oh, what a shackle! What a shackle! Absolutely perfect. Naga through the ulti to try and save him. Now for the Dream Core follow-up. Asoshka, Lucid Beam, and the fissure damage coming in from Fear.
Be worse. Oh,
Radiant's bottom tower
Huck was able to
is
pick
under
off the
attack.
Crystal Maiden at the same time, but that it was the perfect shackle. And now they're going to go again. Universe, 100% on the money. Fear again drops the shaker.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
13-6 on the board. And Universe, I want to give this guy a medal. Well, at least going to give him an orchid. The start of one. 73 for 10. He's got 405 on the board. But he just got free gold for the Luna. And that's even more important for JO. Fog is going to make his way up towards that mid lane. Fader and Miguel in the neighborhood. Universe. Just keeping his distance for now. He knows farm is all he really needs. He's the highest net worth out there. Hearing Clockwork using a hook shot. He found one. Found Fader on the bottom rune. But MSS silenced up Fader. He's going to avoid in a moment. The Weaver Bug's coming into it. MSS making the right decision to back up then. But he's not trying to make this easier for Fader. He does now have a regeneration rune up his sleeve, but he wants to come up and at least void something before he's going to pop a regeneration. His base health regeneration isn't too bad. I was thinking Half-Life also isn't too bad either. They just start to spam out a lot more of his abilities. But you can see Fear in Universe. Like a 4-star into a shackle, I believe is the desire right now from Universe. Shackle to a creep like this and then catch either Weaver or the Night Stalker, who is back a little bit further just then. Off in the middle lane. Just means someone being a little bit too far up. Fader now running down. Fear. With the silence, he's got no option to block him in with the rock wall. There's movement from MSS to come towards the top lane. At the same time, Mad's back inside the jungle. Still haven't seen his treads, still haven't seen that mech appear for their lineup either. In fact, I don't think anyone is even in fact building into it. We've got double BKBs coming their way. But that's basically it for now. Also, I want to say a big shout out to all those guys who are tweeting me out over at TobiWan Dota. You can also leave your comments over on my Facebook page, TobiWan Dota. If you have any issues with the live stream, I know the Dailymotion crew are watching it closely. We have no chat for you to complain in, and not going to be a kill. They're still broken Ice Rock. Yeah, but if you are having issues, let them know what country you're from, and be as specific as possible. I know that you can only put so much into a tweet, but yeah, I know a couple of guys are already responding directly to some of the tweets, so check it out. And yeah,
Radiant's top tower
help
is under
Dailymotion find their
attack.
bugs. Blink Dagger now up on Fader, so we're good. Sorry, Soshka. So used to having it be Fader. So used to it being Fader. Soshka, nice jump in. Perfect first use of it. However, he has already used his orb. The TP delay time is massive for Fear, as well as Fog. They'll get the fissure off, and Universe is here as well. Phase shift, he's just trying to buy time so he can blink, but not going to happen.
Aw, better
And there's a lot of quick support that came in. And a full Orchid now for Universe. Normally, I'd say, you know what, there may even be a slight even trade, taking a puck for a Clockwork, especially with a Clockwork that's been so effective. But in this scenario, you've just fed a fatter Windrunner. And she's slender as it is. While on bottom lane Fader, BKB still coming his way, but he'll probably have it by the time we hit this first nighttime cycle, so then he won't care about the Orchid as much. And once the BKB also comes up for the Weaver, he also will have a less care factor of that Orchid from the Windrunner. And can just attack directly. The things that will still cause problems is that big rock wall. BKB doesn't let you walk through like solid pieces. TP's middle. It's going to be MSS. We've already got, well, we've got a sentry ward down, actually. Observer from the Dire side watches that rotation up, which lets Enchantress know that he's got to back up right now. Erases the army of the dead so he can still find a little bit more of that farm. While up on top lane, Fader has got the space. He's got his BKB, and he knows he has to bail as well. We get an aggressive Observer ward throwing down. Interested to see the position of that ward. Like, if you check out the vision right now, like, you see down to here, which is great. And you see up to here, which is great. But you still miss out in this little region up here, and you don't have a perfect clear vision. You can actually plant this ward a little bit higher up, and you still get basically the same amount of intelligence. As far as information, I'm talking about being intelligence. Information. Yeah. It can be done. 3 PM on the Dota 2 clock. We're approaching it. Our next nighttime phase, and this is going to be possibly the most important 4 minutes, extended by nighttime darkness, of course. Most important time for Sigma. They need to basically remove these last outer tier 1 towers. They need to gain map control, and they need to find kills. Especially on heroes like a Luna, who's already got a BKB up. Even Earthshaker can now afford up a Blink Dagger. Possibly the most dangerous item out of every single one that's currently over on the EG lineup. But Windrunner, like Orchid and her 4-star, is always going to be problematic, but with BKBs, you can protect yourself. So there's no huge problem with the Windrunner anymore. The bigger problem I'm feeling is that Earthshaker just straight in, jump in, before you're ready, before you can get your BKBs up. I suppose the same kind of thing can happen with Universe when he does that kind of stuff. You can see him fishing for the Shackle to the Invis unit. Wastes most of the time with the Shikuchi. But more importantly, gives him the opportunity to get a kill over on Miguel before he's capable of time-lapsing. Or because he's incapable of time-lapsing. Oh, there's your jump in. Fissure and Orchid, but Miguel got Invis before it. So he won't pop from the damage that was dealt out from that. Fissure was the initial stun, then the Orchid followed up after it. Look at that, even Enchantress walking around with an Alpha Ball. She's going to be a little bit annoyed because she's going to lose this one, so they'll have to get a Troll instead. But we are now here in the nighttime extended. Roshan? I'm not feeling it, even with that DD room, which Fader is now going to be picking up. If they had a Vladimir's offering, then I'd be all for this for Sigma. But the problem being caught out by heroes like a Blink Daggering Earthshaker, by a Clockwork with Hookshot, and then having Luna just nail you all into one quick, tight little corner. That's the biggest problem. EG, however, great opportunity. They can just throw the Luna in there and she can almost sold up herself. Have the Windrunner and the Earthshaker on standby. Crystal Maiden just holds back and stuns up whoever jumps in first. And Clockwork can also do the same. You can split the entire fight and let Luna finish the job. It's risky though, obviously, because you're still going up against Naga Sleep. So I don't think either of these teams, again, it's kind of like our last game. No team really sees the advantage in going for Roshan. The risk is not worth the reward. That's a lot of movement top lane. Tower will still go down. The Enchantress Centaur remain there, and the Centaur, actually, that Shackle managed to look to the range creep. Now they might turn to try and fight this one. BKB up from Fader. Silence and Dreamcore. Gonna go off on 2 here, and it triggers out in fear already. And look at Fader. Just moves in hard, punches them down. Double kill for him. Void's coming off cooldown, and Universe Void triple kill for Fader. EG, they came in late, they tried to TP in, and then they tried to chase. The bigger problem. Void now from Fader, the Frostbite unavailable, and it's going to actually be stolen there by Soshka. So no Ultra kill coming the way of the Nine Stalker, but Sigma, they laid waiting for so damn long. They now take top Tier 1, Tier 2 tower and 4 heroes for the price of Fader TPing back to base and coming to defend the bottom lane. And Jo is forced back out. Soshka, is he going to jaunt this? No, he's not. They'll let Jo go. Or Fader, I don't think wants to let Jo go. There's no Dream Call and there's no mana as well from Soshka to keep chasing. That's the reason why he didn't jaunt it. But now with the 4 heroes down, Fader searches for another rune. Not going to get lucky on this one. It's going to be Invis up on the top, which Miguel will see. But he can just hold it there. Fader will come in, like, Void up a creep in the mid and then just, like, keep running in. Yeah, Void's the range creep. Farms up most of it. He knows he can still pick up the rune, then just use his remaining bottle charges. So he'll still have a full bottle, full mana pool. Throws out the darkness, extends that nighttime again. I said Sigma needed to have a very effective first nighttime. I think that's effective in the graph. That's definitely effective showing up in the graphs. Sochka, in fact, can now be building into a Scythe of Vice for himself. A full Mystic Staff away from it. Luna trying to go into a Mana Style at this stage, so Jaya just trying to get bigger than anybody else on the map. And that jump in from Fear, we still haven't seen its effectiveness. And now, Echo Slam. Remember, it uses the illusions now, but the silence in from Sochka. Miguel, it was bought time to time lapse. Naga sleeps him up, and Fader, who's your target? BKB up and running. The Dream Call's over on 3, so they focus down Fear to start with, while CM's ulti is also dishing out a decent chunk of damage. Sigma's going to lose to you, but Fader, he's still a big beefy man, but that Luna with her own BKB, Fader is forced to run. And now we see that damage output that can come from a Luna, attempting a Illusion Beam, but cannot achieve it. Man was also able to escape, but that was now balls play out from Sigma. Try and jump the puck into a 3-man silence. I think that's just been happy to escape from that one. The second Luna was in part of that fight. They had to retreat. With only a couple of heroes and nothing really much more apart from that, there's just... With the way they changed around the Moonglaives, you get 2 heroes at the left next to each other, you're toast. You're absolutely toast.
Dire's middle tower
You lose your life so quickly, and now that means that Luna has a full Manta style done. While Mad at least has the mech for his team. Pass. We got Arcane Boots, Drums, as well as a Wand. Clockwork. After that last fight, now would have fought up a BKB. But he's 2-3-7. That's possibly the saddest Clockwork in a while. But not as sad as the 2 heroes over on Sigma. That's a 1-4 Weaver. And the Enchantress, a 1-5-8. Everything else being thrown into Fader, who's 5-1-2. And they're going to jump in here and they're going to try this. They've got to move so quick. They have got to move so quick. Rocket's flying in. It's too late. They've been scouted. Power shots as well. They got to back themselves out. They don't have Naga sleep here. That's the biggest problem. Unless they're trying to force a fight. Which it kind of feels like it. Yep. Blink, Dream Call, Bugs won't trigger. And what a fidget from Fear. MSS! Whoa! With the BKB, he's going to jump in behind the battery assault. And look at Jo. The bounce damage is just going through the heroes. It becomes a 1-for-1. Miguel able to get himself away to safety, but that is an unstoppable streak. 835 gold going the way of the Luna. Oh, Fear! Oh, Fear. The Shackle will lash, though. He'll be able to get the stomp off as well, so they still hold Enchantress in position. And this is really going to be a game right now, or will it? Miguel, the bugs will fly out. Vader wants to fight this harder, and now you're going to have Jo. Well, he stands his ground and will go down, and now it's his streak. 728 gold going the way of the Weaver, and Sochka jumps off the Windrunner as well. Oh my lord, Sigma. You lose a fight, then you have the confidence to come back in again and try that. Sochka will take the tower while the rest of the players take out Roshan. With a Reaver now over on the Night Stalker, he cleans up a slot for the Aegis of the Immortal. He's got 2.2k. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. That's keeping him low. Clockwork. Oh, Sochka! That could have been MSS with a perfect jump in. Going balls to the wall, bamboo style. And they're all so low for the fish. Oh, that's so close to pass. EG, they came so close to getting a couple of snipe offs, even with that rocket. Like that first rocket that came off from the Clockwork, originally used as a scouting rocket, but it dropped Weaver and that Naga insanely low that Nightstalk had to tank up the rest of it, which made options for EG. Looking for the pickoffs as they try to come back out again. Gem over on Fear, so at least now they've got some clean vision of that Weaver. As they start their D-warning around the pit, but the Aegis Immortal is already in the hands of the Night Stalker. And he'll just have to wait his time out. We're at 8 AM right now, so the timer could tick itself through until we hit our next nighttime cycle. And then that's going to be a level 3 darkness as well. So that nighttime cycle is going to be even longer. 80 seconds is the bonus duration. So you basically have 40 seconds of real-time pass before you trigger your ultimate again. That's all that really has to happen. Which means Fader, yeah, level 3, all good to go. And Universe, keep trying to build into that Scythe of Vice. On where try and kill off the Night Stalker. They still need a little bit more DPS. There's a lot of it that came out from Jo during that last fight, but it's normally when you got 2 heroes grouped up together You get that glaive bounce effect, the bounce between them all. It's the reason why Luna is such a great pickup now. Her ability to clear off creep waves, but more importantly, when you've only got hero-based fights, you could destroy off so much so quickly. Even the racks just crumble beneath you. And you see Weaver's attempt here. He's going to go in for a Monkey King bar by the looks of it. Feeling that there's a butterfly coming out from the Luna. And I'll actually try and group up for a smoke gank, but JO's just pushing out the top lane first. Might leave a couple of Manasar illusions behind. Or either they're using JO as bait. They're using JO as bait. Mad's gonna get out. The pings are coming out saying, yo, supports, get your ass out of there. Like right now. TPs or you're dead. TPs or you're dead. They didn't TP. Naga has to throw the ulti off. Naga, oh, she got orchided. You can see her start the animation, then she thought, oh, it's only just a Windrunner.
Good shot, right?
And Chandras gets back out to safety. And you'll see Miguel as well as Soshka. They're going to snipe out the tier 1 tower in the mid. Take the creep wave out and look for a trade-off. In fact, they're not even going to worry about the creep wave. They just attack directly onto the tower. No fortifications going to be used for this one. They throw the bugs out as well to have a bit of a scout. It's going to slow down the next Radiant creep wave. But it's just tower for tower trade. And the choice now is from Sigma. Do they try and defend this tier 2 tower? We saw how well that worked when EG tried to defend their tier 1 tower on the top lane.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
This fight could kind of go anywhere if they do attempt it, but right now, they're not in position for it. Miguel will have to TP directly onto the tier 2 tower. Fortification's already down, and there's no direct TP. So Fader, he is going to pop off that nighttime. He does have a DD rune also triggered. And then they just throw down the Fissure, try and hold him off, but you know Fader's looking for the Earthshaker, but he won't find it. Fear jumps into the tree line, TP's back out to safety again. And these clockwork illusions are being used as scouts to see who else is following them, which is nobody. So EG, precision hunt. A full-on precision hunt.
Greetings.
And now we're seeing passes. Could be Heaven's Halberd out from him. Looks like it. And a little bit of evasion for him. Not a bad item to have. Added a little bit of, having the evasion is obviously a great thing. Especially when Luna's not going Monkey King Bar. She is going straight for that butterfly. So it was the right choice made by Miguel. He's just over 1,000 gold away from finishing that too. So Sigma will already have a counter. Having a secondary 1-2 coming through that side of the Vice. Obviously a side of the Vice removes the evasion abilities. And Fogged. Well, it takes some decent confidence from a support hero to do this. I got Jay with a Ring of Aquila. He dropped that one so he could still hold onto his TP scroll. And now the push on the bottom lane. At the same time, Fader finishes up his harp. He still needs to have some damage coming out from this guy. Like, that's a lot of strength behind him. He got about 3k life points and a lot of regeneration. But he's about to lose his Aegis in 1 minute, so he wants to hunt. And it's the perfect timing for it too. We're about to crack nighttime. It looks like there's no real... Oh, they're coming in with smoke. They're coming in with vision. Yeah, Soshka. Yeah, right on top of an Observer. What? Alright, that's what I'm waiting for. The gem on the Naga Siren to check out the hilltop. Well, we're at nighttime. Remember that Roshan time is counting down. So the reclaim is coming in 26 seconds.
That was most welcome.
So it looks like we won't be seeing this Aegis the Immortal trigger properly. Let's have that slow regeneration over time anyway.
There.
And just extend that nighttime. Full butterfly now done. And the Aegis is gone. Monkey King Bar though, 1 creep kill away from Miguel. But it seems like Fader doesn't want to let him have anything here on this bottom lane. So have to wait for the time to tick out instead. Are they using Fader as bait in the bottom? Nah, Miguel says, yeah, just give me one. Just give me one. Chikuchi's got it. So Monkey King Bar comes exactly the same time as we see the butterfly arrive for EG. So very even as far as their items go. Still the advantage of gold going the way of evil geniuses. And not really because the towers are actually quite level. Experience goes away as Sigma. So really at this point of the game, I want to ignore that. The network is the primary thing and the key items. And there's still no other massive key items coming out the way of EG. Apart from that butterfly is the biggest thing recently. We're not seeing any kind of other buff up. Another chicken, like, he's got Blink Dagger already. Not really looking for much more. Alright. So Miguel's happy and ready to fight this. They got to keep as much of this creep wave alive. The Cogs are not going to make this easy for him. But Miguel can attack the tower directly out of range of the Cogs. So they can still do some damage to this tier 2 tower. And with the Puck Orbs flying out too, some Naga Illusions to tank it up. They're being a little bit more cautious about it because they're worried about the hook shot in. But the TP is going to come in towards the top lane. So Weaver comes back to defend. And Windrunner just runs away. And welcome to the problems of facing up against a split push hero. Which probably enough you don't even have one over here in the EG lineup. The closest you get is the Luna when she pops off the Mana Style. And then just push the Illusions up the lane. Because that cleans up the creep wave quite nicely. Looks like MSS is already looking to try and contest that rune fully. Popping the Battery Assault. He also knew he was going to get up that. He should have been able to pick up that rune. If someone was on the rune, they'd go in there ready to kill him anyway. The life would have been fine for him. He doesn't waste any mana because he uses these bottle charges anyway. So good. And Jo. Alright, Roshan. Wow, okay, that's quick. Roshan's back up again. But this is when you see MSS going to be using rockets to fire the creep wave when he probably should be scouting at Roshan. Because Jo can run in there and just take Roshan solo. You got Illusions on the side here from Naga that's trying to keep tabs on where EG is moving. In fact, another set of Illusions from Pass in 2 seconds should be scouting out Roshan. Clockwork, rockets off cooldown. Does he have a looky? I think he will. Rocket, no, flies up high instead. And down to the bottom lane to try and stop that. So it looks like EG, they don't care about Roshan knowing if it's up or not, if it's being farmed up right now. They can see enough heroes on the map, they know it's not being done. All they want to do is just focus on what's in the bottom lane. Look at that movement speed. 463 for Jo. He flies. But they're going to fight this bottom lane. No fortification available here from Sigma, but they have all 5 players ready to rock and rumble. And Jo, he's in very, very deep. The Hex will be there. Miguel will try and focus him down. 4 staff down. They need the Naga Sleep to actually buy him some space, so then they can focus, in fact, over towards the Luna, who then pops up the Eclipse Fader, has to run himself away, and he is going to get himself far enough away from him. No, he can't. The Clockwork will take it. Shaka won't land on Solskjaer, but when the Fissure and the Nova fly, all 5 heroes from EG remain standing, and Sigma lose 2 cores and a support and a tier 2 tower. Quick Roshan on tier 3 tower is the question right now from EG, and it looks like tier 3 tower is going to be the answer. Buyback status available for the Night Stalker, not available for the Puck. And Night Stalker, he'll have to use it if they really want. But then again, do they want to try and fight without the control of the Puck? And without fortification, nope, they're going to let it go. Now defend on their mids, but look at that pushing power from the Luna. You can't stop power like that. Even now, farming up buildings to help get rid of it a little bit more. And then, yep, Mana Style pops. Nice Soccer. Yeah, we knew he had to buy back. The top lane's pushing in. That's the only advantage right now coming out from Sigma. But they need an opening. They need someone to be caught out. Void on Fear. BK beats down from Fader. But then at the same time, Clockwork. He controls Fader inside the cogs. They got themselves another one, maybe. Yeah, man, too far up. Fear comes in, just starts basic attacking him. But the Luna cogs are flying, blades are flying around. And we'll go GG here in game number 2. Game number 3 will be coming up shortly. And our final deciding matchup. Who can get themselves ahead? Right now locked at 1 game apiece. In the group where actually this is our first game that's gone to 3. We've finally broken the trend. We had the trend broken with the Dignitas versus Speed matchup earlier before. And that was when, Dignitas ended up losing 2-0 to Speed. But now Evil Genius has locked themselves up. Sigma so far, they had a 2-0 win over Fnatic. EG, this is their first game in this competition. They've still got matches up against virtus.pro, Fnatic, as well as Alliance. Of course, their game up against Alliance is tomorrow, same time, same bat channel, 18 CEST, right here on the channel. So make sure you do not miss out in that game. And make sure you also don't miss out in the next game. Game number 3, EG going up against Sigma, coming up in just a couple moments' time.